Sure, I'm David Meerman Scott. I write books and give speeches about marketing, about customer service, about loyalty. The empowered customer, it's really interesting. In the last, say, 10 years, we now have an opportunity to engage with customers, but they now have an opportunity to engage back to us. It had been one way for so long. And now customers can vent their frustrations if they're frustrated. They can cheer about how happy they are with any companies or products or services that they really like. They can recommend things to friends. They can vote by saying that your product is good or bad with the sort of places that they can rate products. So it's become really, really, really interesting, and it means those companies that are most engaged are the ones that are most successful. Well, the big thing that's driving is the fact that now with social media, with online engagement, with all sorts of social networks, the communications between companies and customers is two-way. For decades, for centuries, it was one way. You know, we, the company, talked to you using our messages. So it's changing, dramatic changes. I think it's the biggest revolution since the invention of the printing press, is the fact that we now have real-time two-way communications with customers. And it's just a huge change. So the driving factor is really the idea of real-time information, real-time connections, which is being driven by social networks, by the fact that customers can say whatever they want back and forth to you. You know, millennials, interestingly, I have a daughter who's, well, she's 19, so she's sort of on the cusp of that kind of age. And they grew up online. I like to use the phrase digital natives. You know, they're a digital native, whereas someone like me, I'm a digital immigrant. I had to learn the language. They grew up with the language, and that's the way they like to communicate. You know, they don't use the telephone. My daughter hates the telephone. They don't like to use email. They like to use instant messaging. They like to use social networks, particularly Facebook. They like to engage instant communications with people. So the challenge for businesses is, how can you do that in such a way that it's not seen as creepy or stalking or, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they know what I'm doing, and you know, and it's a challenge. And I think that having digital natives on your staff is a really good start. I mean, I see so many companies who have a marketing or a communications department, customer services department, that are staffed by people who are in their 40s and 50s and 60s. Nothing wrong with that. I'm in my 50s. But let's get some digital natives that can help out. You know, grab them right out of university and put them in the chair and have them help to craft some of those communications. And so they can be a check on what we, digital immigrants, might think is a good communications. A digital native, a millennial, might say, what in the world? Don't do that. That's crazy. I spend most of my time in what I call the top of the funnel. If you consider a sales funnel, and you've got people going into the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel is getting them to close, and then after their existing customers, you know, in many ways you bring them back into the funnel and see if you can remarket to them in other ways. Most of my time is spent near the top of the funnel and the middle of the funnel, so it's really fun for me to engage with hundreds of enthusiastic people who spend most of their time paying attention to existing customers, building their loyalty so that they remain customers, number one, but then also they might spread the ideas and get their networks to be interested in becoming customers, and then they go back in the funnel and become potentials to sell more things to. So it's a group of people that I spend less time with than what I normally do, so to me that's really exciting, and I'm actually learning a lot. The panel I led earlier I learned a ton from them, and I've already engaged with them going forward as well.